Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome to this brand new video, and what we're going to be doing today, I'm going to be talking you through my most recent, this little bundle of DVD purchases. So first things first, I just realised it's a lovely spring day outside. It's getting rather warm in here, so I'm going to open the window. 1 second, just to let the cool breeze come into the room, and hopefully, oh, that feels good. A little bit cooler, little airs, circulating a little bit more. That's fantastic. And if you listen very carefully, you might be able to hear the sound of people mowing the lawn. Lawnmowers going. Well, they stop now because they know I'm recording anyway. Let's get on with the movie review. So these are my most recent DVD purchases. These 4 here, most recent purchases over the last few weeks. So yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through each movie and talk about the movie. And yeah, here we go. So the first one on my list is The Legend of Tarzan. So this is the live-action version of Tarzan. This came out in June of last year, 2016. It came out in the summer of 2016 anyway, and it's the live-action take on Tarzan, story of Tarzan. And I liked where they went with this movie. It stars Alexander Skarsgård as Tarzan. Margot Robbie plays his wife Jane, and we have Christopher Waltz as the villain in this film. It's really good. Samuel Jackson, I really like Samuel Jackson. He's really good as the kind of aiding Tarzan across this movie, and yeah, this is a really good movie. What I liked about this film is the story we know of Tarzan already, where he's he's raised in the jungle by the gorillas. They kind of raise him as one of their own, and he kind of believes he's a gorilla, and then he meets Jane and marries Jane and moves back to England with Jane and kind of lives a civilized life. That's already happened in this movie. So the story where he was, he's kind of been raised in the jungle, and then he's kind of realised he's human, and he's living back in England, a civilised married life. The events of this movie, I mean, that story is kind of told in flashback, but the main events of this movie are him returning to the jungle to stop Christopher Waltz's character from unleashing his plan, which is bad news for the animals that live in the jungle and the people that live there. So Tarzan has to go back and to save the community that raised him and the animals and that raised him from that plan, which was really interesting. And I thought this film does a really good job of doing that, and there's some great performances, and and the kind of fight scenes and the action scenes were really good. There's some really interesting action scenes in this movie, and a good climax at the end. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I bought this in CEX, which is like a kind of like a discount DVD and Blu-ray and kind of game store, electronic store that we have in the UK. This was £6. I'd not bought this new. I kind of forgot it was out, to be honest. I thought, I saw this in the shop. I thought that's definitely worth having in the collection, so I picked that up the other week. So that's the first one on the list. The second one is also bought from CEX for £6. This is a pre-owned DVD as well. This is Jason Bourne, and this is the next edition of the Jason Bourne franchise. It has Matt Damon returning to play Jason Bourne in this movie, because of course the first few Jason Bourne movies, if you're a fan of the series, of course Matt Damon reprises his role a couple of times as Jason Bourne. And then a couple of years ago we had the one with Jeremy Renner. I really like Jeremy Renner. I think he's a fantastic actor, but personally I think the Jason Bourne, Matt Damon, Jason Bourne played by Matt Damon is the best, to be honest. Not taking anything away from Jeremy Renner, but when I found out that Matt Damon was going to return and play Jason Bourne in this next movie, it's another Bourne movie with Matt Damon, I was excited, and this movie did deliver. I really enjoyed this movie. It's a very kind of frantic paced movie. There's a lot of action, there's a lot of bits and bobs going on. He's kind of having to live a life, where he's kind of slipping under the radar because people are looking for him, and what he's done in previous movies. They think, why is he above the law and all that, which is really interesting and really good. And it was a good movie to watch, and saw this at the cinema, and it was good to kind of, when I saw this in CEX, I thought I'm gonna grab that movie and add it to the collection. And yeah, a little bit annoying where the sticker was. There was 2 stickers on here for the price, but it's left a lovely kind of residue there. I shouldn't complain because the DVD's in good condition, and you know, the disc is fine. But it did take me quite a while to take the sticker off. I was thinking, goodness me, but you know, for £6, who can go wrong? And it's another DVD in the collection. So that's Jason Bourne. The next one is, I bought this brand new the other week. This is Doctor Strange. This is the latest edition in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It stars Benedict Cumberbatch as Dr. Stephen Strange, who's a brilliant neurosurgeon at the beginning of this movie. And unfortunately, he suffers a rather bad car accident. His car crashes, leaves his hands really badly injured, and he suffers some considerable nerve damage to his hands, where they kind of fix his hands, and unfortunately it leaves his hands kind of trembling and shaking, and of course he can't carry on with the work he did as a neurosurgeon. So of course he goes out to find a cure, and he finds a mysterious group which teach him magic, and they teach him, you know, to become a powerful magician. And he also realises that there's lots of kind of other threats in the world, and he ends up kind of fighting alongside, you know, these group of people, you know, battling those threats. And I thought it was a really, really interesting film. And the visual, some of the visual effects in this movie, where, you know, they're in different places. They're in London, they're in New York, they're in Hong Kong, you know, and the buildings are twisting around, and all the, you know, it looks just so good, you know. And I think this movie did get awards for the visual effects. I think rightly so, because the visual effects were pretty damn good, you know. And you know, and what they were doing, you know, they were kind of, you know, you'd be walking along and the building would be coming down upside down, and it looks so good, you know. It looks so good, and I've not really seen anything like that in a movie before. So I'm glad, you know, the effects got the recognition they deserve, and the movie is a really good, solid movie. And like I said in my previous DVD update, I was talking about Captain America: Civil War, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe at the moment can't seem to make any bad movies. And personally, I think that's great. Long may it continue, because I love the run that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is having, and you know, it's lots of great movies, which is really good, and I'm really enjoying that trend, and let's hope it continues, you know. So this was another one, and I think hopefully we'll see Doctor Strange in some more Marvel Cinematic Universe movies yet to come. Whether or not that will be the Avengers movies, or it'll be great to, you know, to see him. And I think Benedict Cumberbatch has really made the role his own. You know, he's just so good at this in this role. And this movie does have a really good cast. It's got a really good supporting cast. You know, Rachel McAdams plays one of his friends who works at the hospital, and it has Mads Mikkelsen and Tilda Swinton. It's got just such a good cast and such a good movie. They did a really good job with it, so that's definitely worth having in the collection. And then last but not least, we have Chicken Run, which is an animated movie. It came out in the year 2000. It's made by Aardman Animations, the same studio that made the Wallace and Gromit shorts and the Wallace and Gromit movie. And yeah, picked this up for about $3.99, $4.99 brand new in the shops the other day. I thought it just got to be in the collection. I think I did own the old video VHS version of this, going back quite a while now. The old VHS where, you know, you used to play them too many times and you used to get the lines at the top and the bottom. Goodness me. But now you've got wonderful DVDs and Blu-rays, which if you're careful, you know, you know, they can last for a long time. So it's good to have this movie on DVD, and this is a great movie. It's about a group of chickens living on a farm, and you know, they're afraid that they're going to be the farmers are doing, you know, machines are turning up at the farm, and they're worried they're going to be, you know, turned into chicken pies and used for dinner and things like that. So of course they're rightly terrified of what's going to happen, so they think they need to get out of the farm and escape. And the movie begins with such a great scene. It's kind of shows different failed attempts of the chickens, led by Ginger, who's the leader. She kind of the mastermind behind all the attempts, and she's trying to think of different ways in which you know, they can get out. And unfortunately, this time each one is fooled by the farmer, catches them, and it's kind of, you know, it's a really kind of interesting take. You know, they kind of try this, that, they try and get over the fence, they try and cut the fence, they try and disguise, and it's really kind of, you know, really kind of great opening, you know, to the movie. And like the Wallace and Gromit feature film, I've lost count of how many times I've seen this movie. but every time I watch it I just enjoy it so much, and there's little gags and puns and things you didn't see necessarily the first time that you notice after a while, and it's a really enjoyable movie, really good, and definitely one worth having on the in the collection on DVD. So yeah, and that's it, and that wraps up my recent DVD update collection. There's a few more movies that have been released recently, so looking to get some more movies as well. You know, once I've watched the other ones, and yeah, it's always good to keep the collection fresh and add new movies to the collection. And I hope you enjoy me talking about these movies. I certainly enjoy talking about them and sharing my thoughts on the movies. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time.